Hi everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. And today we're doing my July favorites and stats. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to go through the stats and then I'm going to tell you all the 6-star books I had or favorites or things like that that were going down. So I'm very excited about this. I definitely have some favorites of the year from July and I've already talked about a lot of them multiple times, but that's the best part about having a channel is I can just continue to talk about whatever the fuck I want and you're either here or you're not, and that's how it goes. So let us dive right in with the stats here. Have them written down. So I read 66 books and had 1 DNF, so 67 total, which was 21,272 pages, which averaged out to 686 pages per day, which is awesome. The ratings for these books, oh no wait, sorry. The format of the books was 18 print, 36 ebook, 23 audiobook, and 10 ARCs. Oh boy, was there some good ARCs this month. The ratings for these were, as I said, I had 1 DNF. I had 6 stars. Wow. And here I was worried I wasn't having enough 6 stars. And then these last 2 months has just been. I had 12 5 stars, 10 4.5 stars, 28 4 stars, 5 3.5 stars, 2 3 stars, and 1 2.5 star. Oops, I'm sorry, I miswrote that. I have 3 3 stars. Wrote down the wrong one for that. And then the genres that these were was 17 contemporary, 25 dark, 12 historical, 8 paranormal, 1 sci-fi, 2 suspense / thriller, and 1 fantasy, which is just awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. So then just to quickly go over a couple of these 6-star reads because wow. The first 6-star read that I had was Carnal Urges by J.T. Geissinger. This is book 2 in her Queens and Monsters series, which I think is going to be a trilogy. For sure there's one more called Savage Hearts, which will be out later this year. This had Daddy Declan and Sloane. This was an age gap. This is a grumpy sunshine. This is a second chance at love for some of them, and then there's so much other fun mafia stuff going on in here. So this book starts out where it ended for Sloane, where she was kidnapped by Declan because she's supposed to be brought to his boss. Well, in the process of kidnapping her and getting her to her boss, the boss dies, disappears, gone. And now Declan is the one in charge. And he has this woman that he kidnapped that he doesn't want anything to do with because she is pushing all his buttons and driving him crazy and things are quickly getting out of his control and he doesn't know what the fuck to do. But she just drives him crazy. And then there's a certain situation that happens in this book where Declan pulls some pretty high-handed shit. Okay, he pulls some high-handed shit. And when he does it, he immediately realizes that he fucked up, but also that he can't live without her, that this crazy wild woman has gotten under his skin, and even though she's afraid of love and he doesn't know how to handle it, he is not gonna let her go. Yeah, it's amazing. She also goes through kind of a sickness in here, and so there is some caretaking, there is some BDSM elements, there is talk of past trauma, and I believe she was assaulted in the past as well, so we do go over some of that. But I could not have predicted where this book was going, and it just blew my mind. I can't wait for the audio for this one to come out because I'm totally going to read it again and listen to the audio for it. And I can't wait for Savage Hearts. Oh, wow. This book was fantastic. Then the other, well, not the other, one of the other 6-star reads was actually a reread, and that was Broken Vow by Sophie Lark, so I'm not like holding that one up to talk about it, but I reread it because the audiobook came out and it had Wen Ross in it, and I had to listen to my cowboy again, so I listened to that. Then the next 6-star read was actually this one here, which is called Never Seduce a Scot by Maya Banks. I recently just talked about this one in a video. This book just means so much to me. It's so sweet and precious. It is about Eveline Armstrong, who has been deaf for the last few years because she was in an accident. And when she realizes she can't hear, she decides to play it up just a little more than she normally would, because she was supposed to marry this real jackass of a guy. Like, he was horrible. And when her family believes that she had a brain injury as well, they get her out of this arranged marriage. Well, along comes Graham Montgomery, and he is being forced to marry her by decree of the king. And he kind of feels like this is a life sentence for him, because he would never force himself on a woman who was mentally defective, and he would never cheat on her because he would never disrespect his wife, no matter who she is or what's going on with her. And from the moment that she meets him, Eveline can just tell that she can trust Graham, and it's the beginning of a beautiful relationship. And when this man finds out that she's not touched in the head, she's deaf, and she can read his lips and they can communicate, he feels like he's given a second chance. Except his people are not ready to just accept her, okay? They have hang-ups because the Montgomerys and the Armstrongs are at war. So, I love this book. And then another 6-star was When Villains Rise by Giana Darling. I don't have this in my hand yet. I should be getting it soon because I ordered the Anti-Heroes box and it's been delayed a little bit, but I can't wait to have it. And this is the second book in the duet. The first one was When Heroes Fall, and this is When Villains Rise. And it picks up pretty much exactly where we ended. And this is Dante and Elena, and now they're on their way to Italy to kind of hide out because Dante had to break his parole in the last book for some reasons. And now they're going to Italy to try to figure it all out. This book meant so much to me. It was amazing. Elena is one of the prickliest, cranky women you'll meet, but Dante is the life of the party. He is this big, loud, boisterous mafia boss who is just like nothing that I've ever read before. He's like nothing I've ever read before. And the way that he not like handles Elena, but the way that he sees her and appreciates all of her and wants what's best for her, and the way he fights for her just broke me. Like, I was a puddle of tears. I was a puddle of tears, and I absolutely adored this story. And I don't care if some things about it were predictable. Seeing Dante get righteous revenge for this woman, I don't fucking care about anything else. This was a 6-star read and one of my favorite books of the year. I can't wait to see what she writes next. Then our next 6-star read is Devil in Disguise by Lisa Kleypas. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this only came out a week ago. Well, it only came out this past week, but I was able to get the physical copy of it just a little over a week ago. This book is the 7th book in the Ravenel series. It is listed though as the Ravenels Meet the Wallflowers, and when you read this book you'll know why. I've had some people ask. I do highly recommend that you have read the Wallflowers and the Ravenels before you read this book. Just as it says, the Ravenels Meet the Wallflowers. And the way that I explain this is like, you can read this book and you will see the beauty of this book, whether you've read a single other Lisa Kleypas, whether you've read any other historical romance. If you read this book, you are going to think it's beautiful. Like, I just think that you will. That's my gut feeling. But if you are a Lisa Kleypas fan and you have read the Wallflowers particularly and the Ravenels before this, I feel like you will be especially rewarded, because this book is about Merritt Sterling, who is the daughter of, I always forget her name, Lillian and Marcus, who are in the Wallflowers, and Care, who is a Scottish whiskey distiller who uses her shipping company. And in the beginning of this book, there's kind of an issue with his shipment, And the way that Merritt is so respectful, but also firm and gentle of like, we will do this for you. We're able to help you in this way. We have insurance for this. And the instant chemistry between them and the way that he speaks of her, like with no spoilers of it, just after their first meeting, he was dazzled by her. She was a fairy or even a goddess, and not some coldly aloof and perfect goddess, but a small and merry one. He speaks of her as if she's a queen, as if she is this woman from on high, and nothing could please me more. Nothing could please me more. This book single-handedly has shot to the top of my favorite historicals ever. Ever. And that's including the top of all the other Lisa Kleypas that I love. I seriously have to like reevaluate where this sits in my hierarchy, but I will tell you Merritt is my favorite heroine in a historical romance ever. Done. Dead. Period. Stop. I've never read a heroine that I just agreed with everything that she did, and she was strong without being like, I have to be the most independent person ever. And she was happy to, you know, be a part of a family and to rely on people, but she's still in control. And it doesn't need to be yelled out, and it doesn't need to be shouted down your throat. This woman is commanding and in control of herself, but she's still soft and sweet. And guess what? Women can be fucking both. They can be both. And the way that Lisa Kleypas is able to show that this woman is powerful and in control, but still wants romance and still wants to open her heart to an opportunity with care, is so great. This is the August book for the Rake Appreciation Society, and I cannot tell you how happy I am that Crystal and I picked this one for August, because we wanted to pick a new release coming out, and we almost picked Bombshell, but I'm so glad we picked this one because it's going to be my favorite historical. It just might be, guys. It just might be. And I can't wait to gush about this. I'm planning to reread this with the audiobook and just highlight the shit out of this, because I read this one physically, right? And I tried to take my time, but I just couldn't do it because I loved it so much. It's so good. It's so good. And then the last 6-star read that I have to share should be no surprise if you've been around this channel for any length of time recently. And that is The Spy by Sophie Lark. It's here, and I can't tell you who it's about or what happened. But this, in the same way, and this is something I was right, in the same way that this is the culmination of 2 series worth of stuff, this book is the culmination of 3 series of like 15+ books of all these dominoes that have been set up, and now Sophie just flicks over one and it all lays out for you, like if you've ever watched a domino show being played. And this book, oh my god, this book, which is about Nix and our spy, who I am not going to be the one to spoil anything for you, and the pieces that have been laid in place up to this point. You need to have read the Brutal Birthright series. You need to have read at least the first 4 books in the Underworld series. And you need to have read the entire Kingmaker series for this book to mean even a fraction of it to you that it did to me. People are going to ask me, people already ask me, can you just read the Kingmakers? Well, yes, girl, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can read whatever you want to read, but I'm telling you, if you want the same amount of joy, if you want the same amount of happiness when you finish the final pages of this book, you will be rewarded if you have read the other books. You will notice things that you wouldn't notice if you haven't read those. And you will feel a joy and a happiness and a contentedness when you are reading through the end of this, because it wraps up 15 books worth of story and still has hope for the future. Oh, Sophie is fantastic. I cannot wait for her and Mr. Lark. They will be back on my channel. They were here before. You can check out that interview, which was pre-Spy, that we had that interview right after The Bully came out. And they will be back on August 8th or 7th, August 7th, whichever. It's next Saturday at 6 p.m. Central, and we are going to gush about this. So part of it will be non-spoiler, but then we are going to do some spoiler time because I need to talk to my wonderful woman and her husband about this book, okay? This was a 6-star read, and I don't know what else to fucking say. It was amazing. So, there you are. Those are my stats and favorites from the month of July. I don't know if another month can beat them. I don't know if it can, but I'm excited to see what is coming next month. So thank you so much for watching this. I put up new videos 3 to 4 times a week, usually gushing like this about something. So if you'd like to get more recommendations, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.